oh, I have to really have like a career and like do things or whatever. And then I tried the career thing. I really didn't like it. I hated it. And then somehow I fell into this OnlyFans thing. I think like everything was kind of a happy accident, but it all like, that's life for everybody. It just works out. Like you are where you're supposed to be. And I guess this was the universe's calling for me. I guess, whatever.
The conversation you're about to listen to took place between me and JenFoxx in her home in LA. I've known JenFoxx when her name was JenFoxx. She was a relatively small streamer who played guitar and sang songs, and she was outspoken against the direction that Twitch was going at the time, which was this more provocative and sexualized direction where all that mattered was earning subs and making money. After a few years of doing her music streams, she didn't really see it going anywhere, and she wasn't getting the viewers and money that she was hoping for. So she decided to change the course of her content and actually become one of these e-girl hot tub thotting streamers, as she calls it. And she did it maybe better than anyone else, quickly rising to the top of Twitch through her many different talents of ASMR, dancing, singing, and writing on her body. But most of all, she was consistent, dedicated, and she had a vision of what she wanted to accomplish. And as someone who's gone from the bottom of this industry to the top on various different platforms, Jen felt the need to share her story and her perspective, to expose a lot of the corruption, deceit, and maybe underhanded parts of the industry that most people don't realize. She invited me as an old friend to interview her, and I was curious to hear her thoughts on what I perceive as the cybersexual revolution, where individual women are able to obtain a lot of power and influence by simply showing off their bodies online. After a full day of filming in her LA streamer mansion, me and JenFoxx had a great conversation, and I hope you enjoy it too.
Okay. Oh, that is weird. Okay.
How's it looking?
Looks good. Just want to make sure you
It's so important to have
I
someone
call it
who can-
OnlyFans Mansion.
The OnlyFans mansion. The OnlyFansion.
The OnlyFansion.
Only mansions.
That's fun.
OnlyFans mansion, okay. There was a time when you were less in the spotlight with that kind of thing. Do you look back at that with fondness? How do you look back at those times?
No.
Yeah.
I think being a small streamer is a struggle, honestly, and it's an upward battle, and I don't think I look at those times with fondness necessarily. I don't know. Struggling doesn't sound fun. I mean, I think it builds character, of course, but I don't think it's fun.
So take me back to when you decided to pivot into OnlyFans after being outspoken against the way that Twitch was going at the time, which was this more sexualized place. When did you decide to do that exactly?
I think, like, what, why, and when, and I don't know exactly the date. I know it was like 3 or 4 years into like my music streaming career, and I think I had seen that I'd been doing this for so many years, and I only had like 300 viewers or something, and I saw like girls that were just popping up getting like 5,000 viewers like their first year, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I guess I just felt like a failure. And I also kind of was like, well, clearly that's what the world wants, or that's what Twitch wants, or that's what they're promoting, is what it felt like. And I was like, I kind of told you before, we were just talking about my life and stuff, that I realized that Twitch was going in this direction of like, you're either gonna get left in the dust and like your stream's gonna die. And I had put in like 3 or 4 years of my life into my career on Twitch, and I just felt like I can't go back and get a real job because I have no real job experience now for like 4 years. What am I gonna do? And I
And you have a degree from college.
Yes,
too.
but I didn't do it for 4 years because I pursued Twitch.
Right.
So I sacrificed my life because I truly believed that I was going to make it as a streamer. And I just was like, I just saw how things were going, and I didn't think it was going to happen. And I felt eventually all the streams would be sexual, is how I felt. And actually now looking at it, I think my prediction was right. So, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them are now very sexual compared to what they were, okay?
That's certainly where the culture has gone towards, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I made my switch based on, I put so much into this, I think it's called the sunk cost fallacy, where you've sunk in so much into this, you can't, or else, I don't know, you just like, want to die. So
you saw this as an opportunity to actually make some real money, to actually get popular, and that's the way things were going. And where did it really took off with the hot tub stream? Right?
I don't even think it was like, I wanted to just make it as like a creator. I still wanted to do music, and I just saw like nobody cares about if you have talent nowadays in the entertainment industry. They care about if you're famous. Even with actors, they don't even care if you're good at acting anymore. They ask, how many followers do you have? Like all my actor friends in LA, they tell me, they're like, they just care about what your Instagram following is, and it's shitty, I guess. That's the best way. So I was like, okay, if I want to make it in music, I need to have the right numbers. It doesn't matter if I'm good. It doesn't even matter if you're bad, too. It just matters about the numbers, and I did see an opportunity. That's true, but I also saw that was the way things are going, and you're either going to be left in the dust. So if you can't change the way things are, this is the way things are going, you need to join them and adapt. And I kind of, in a weird way, like nobody could say, okay, I was forced into it, but I kind of felt pressured into it because, I dedicated my life to social media, and this is where it was going. And so you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. You're going to die, or you're going to revamp everything. So this was the time. And I don't think it started with hot tubs, actually. Like before hot tubs, it was like bed streams. So girls are like laying in bed.
Sleeping streams?
No, not sleeping.
Oh, just like hanging out in the bed, right?
Yeah, and
like
that
in a
was
hotel
like
room or whatever. I've seen some of those.
Yeah, it was like definitely the meta before the hot tub streams. I feel like was just girls laying in their beds. I don't know. It sounds funny when you think about it. I remember I think it was the first bed, so I had always done these music streams with like 300 viewers, and I remember, I think it was like my first bed stream. And all I did was I'd lay there in bed, the same way I normally do, my normal stream, but I'm just laying there in bed talking to people, and my like viewers go up to like 2,000 viewers. And I was like, are you serious, man? Are you serious right now? Is this really what the website is, guys? And then I think I just consistently did that, and my viewership was going up from 2,000 to 5,000 or whatever, because I laid in a bed. Also, I did change, I think, my style of outfit to more like, before when I did music, I would make sure I never had any cleavage. I'd wear like boyish t-shirts, and like, I didn't want to take away from the art. I don't know, like when you're like trying to do like indie music, you're like, I was in it. I was like, I'm gonna do indie music and like be an artiste and stuff. I was a try hard. And I think eventually I was just like, I'm gonna figure out how to make my goal happen. I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out, but we're gonna get the followers, we're gonna make it happen, and I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know if that was like the best way to put it. And then I noticed girls doing hot tub, and that was happening. So I was like, okay, let's try a hot tub stream and see how that goes. And what happened was there was other girls doing hot tubs on Twitch. I wasn't like the originator of a hot tub stream or whatever. But I think what I noticed is I saw other people doing a lot of stuff, and I adapted it, but I changed it and made it better. That was the only thing I really did, is I saw it, I did it, but I made it better in terms of just like, I don't know, everything from sound to camera quality, production quality. I put a lot of, from my like artist background, I took a lot of, I guess, that from like whatever the music and art world and graphic design world, and then but I put it into my stream into like Thotting. But it totally,
with the production value and the effort and the artistry and the aesthetics. You're really big on aesthetics.
Yeah.
And your stream has always been that way. And at some point you did ASMR a lot, and you were always showing up, I think, on, there was headlines and articles, and on Twitter, everyone, when this whole craze of the hot tub streamers was taking over, I think you were one of the most prominent and one of the most popular streamers for a long time in that sort of thotting, as you call it, category.
I think that's just what guys on Twitch call it, so I just like adopt the language, I guess. I don't know, that's what they call this. And I think some people could take that as derogatory or whatever, but I think if you like claim it, it's not really, I don't think it's derogatory at all. I don't know. It's all about your mindset.
So you were on Twitch, you know, one of the top streamers doing this, and you put in some of the most effort, highest quality. You got banned at some point. How did that whole thing happen?
The final ban, to me personally, is really weird. Like, I could go through all my bans. I'll just list them off. My first ban was for spinning in the jacuzzi for subs. So like every time I got a sub, I'd go, woo! That was it. I got banned for that. Because they said it was sexual. But I don't know, you go to the hot tub section now.
So you can't move in the hot tub.
Not for subs, but you can squat for subs, so I'm confused. I don't understand it. I think that was some misogyny playing on a Twitch staff side, just gonna say it, but you know, I mean, because I don't see the difference between me spinning and a girl squatting, but they're like, well, squatting is
they're working
workout.
Different muscles. You know, maybe they want to promote the muscles that squatting engages.
Yeah, I think
spinning
so.
is more like artistic, actually. Spinning, because it's sort of like a dance move.
I think it's also just like, you're like, yippee! It's the same thing. Like, if I was like, I'm jumping for subs, like, woo! Would that be it? That anyone can interpret anything they want to as sexual. So is that sexual then? And would I have been banned for that? I don't know. So there's like a lot of things.
It's a lot of gray area when it comes to enforcing that.
Twitch, and their TOS.
I mean, I've made videos on this. There's so much favoritism of people, because Twitch staff is run by
normal people.
You know, people who watch these streamers, people who have relationships, friendships.
Yeah.
And you get personally involved with anyone, you're going to have some favoritism and bias. That's just how it is, you know. So no surprise there, and that's been the case for years. I think people know that in the public now. But it's like Twitch is just such a powerful platform that I think they can get away with just having blatant favoritism. Because Twitch has so much community built into it. It's such an ecosystem of building a community, consistently streaming, knowing other streamers. Tell me a bit about how that community was for you and how you've transitioned that to now after your ban. How have you kept that community or maintained it, or have you had to go back to the drawing board?
I didn't talk about the final ban. That was like my first. I was going to go through all of them.
Okay, tell me about the final ban first,
Okay, the final ban, which made no sense to me. I mean, it could... I was doing... So, this was after we had the ASMR ban, me and Red. I'm going to just call her Red. Me and Red had the ASMR ban, and then 3 days later, so at that point I'm already paranoid. I'm not doing ear licking or anything, so I'm like tapping the ear mic, whatever, like tapping bottles or what we're doing. And then they hit me with a what's it called? Something outfit, like a sexual outfit or something. But I'm wearing the outfits I've worn for like a year now, or whatever, 6 months, or I don't even know.
It's like a dress code violation.
But they said it was it was for camel toe essentially, and that was like, I thought that was like a meme people like joke about or whatever, but I was wearing like full clothes, like pants, top, everything. I wasn't like in a bikini or anything, so I was just like tapping mic or whatever, and they said that I was showing my camel toe intentionally, which also isn't true because I literally went in that stream and like stuffed my camel toe and it looked like I had junk down there because I was putting like toilet paper down there because I got fat pussy. I don't know how else to say it. It is not. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, it is what it is. So like I was like, well, they can't permaban you for that. So I was just like waiting and seeing, and like I didn't really say anything because I was just like, oh, they'll fix this. Like I didn't really think anything of it. But then like as like time passed, I was like, oh, this is a permaban, and like I tried to reach out to like staff, and then they were just also my like partner manager was like, oh yeah, normally that's like a 1-day ban, but like for you it's permanent. And I was like, what do you mean it's not permanent, indefinite? That's what they say. It's not, you can always come back from an indefinite, but they don't like say when. But like I was just like, why is this indefinite? Like you can't like as time, it's been over a year now. It's like a year and a half now. And like I appealed at like a year and a month or something. I appealed and they instantly denied it. I said I wouldn't even like do all those kind of streams, whatever they wanted. And they denied it a month later. So they waited like a whole month to deny me. And apparently you have to wait 6 months again to even reapply to appeal, which I was like, and when my first time when I appealed, they said, oh, it hasn't been long enough. You were recently banned. I was like, it's been over a year. What do you mean I was recently banned? Like nobody even read it. And then every time I like reached out to Twitch staff or somebody, they were like, oh, we'll look into it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'd hit them up again. They'd be like, I can't help you. Like that's like just like their answer. It was like, I don't know. I felt like it was like a cult culture. Like I don't know what I did to, like I feel like somebody was hurt or like
you're on somebody's blacklist.
Yes, like, and I don't know what I did to them, but like I feel like it's wrong, like for a company to say, oh, you know, we're taking your livelihood away because you had camel toe at work. Like any company, if you worked at an office and your boss came up to you and was like, okay, you had camel toe, they would just be like, fix it. But they literally like took my whole livelihood away from me. And there's a lot of stuff on Twitch now that's like crazy. And the fact that I feel like it's like being banned for, what's it called? Like people going to jail for marijuana, but marijuana is legal now. Very clearly on Twitch, it's legal. If you think of like sexual stuff as marijuana, whatever. It's legal, but I was like, hey, can I get out of jail? It's legal now. And they're like, no, we're keeping you in jail.
Like clearly the culture, the standards on the site are acceptable to that now.
Yeah.
But they're still keeping you punished for something that happened over a year ago.
Yeah, which I have some theories on, but I don't know.
Wow. So you think someone might have it out to get you?
Yeah.
On the inside.
I mean, I don't know.
And you might know who it is.
I don't.
They might be listening right now. They might be watching.
They're watching.
They're watching right now.
No.
Okay, so let me just stretch for a second.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, maybe that sounds crazy. I mean, what do you think their reason could be to? I want to hear from you.
I don't know the full history. I think you might have stepped on some toes though, and it's like, well, we got to take her out. She has too much power and influence, because that's what streams are. That's why they're so lucrative, is because you have so much influence over the people that watch you regularly, that check into your stream and have you up on their monitor listening to your every breath for maybe hours each day. That's what's behind the chat room of thousands, tens of thousands of viewers as you've had. And in your case, many of them perhaps with a certain eye for sexual interest of you. And I think what's happening with Twitch and with streaming in general is a sort of digital sexual revolution that I think you're very much a part of. I think every generation sort of has their sort of sexual liberation moment in culture. And I think it's different each time, but I think our version is this power being harnessed by individual girls, individual women who can wield their sexual influence online, and who can sort of have that, they can take control over their, the attention that they get for, you know, from guys or from anyone. And I think in that they're able to gain a lot of freedom from the support that they get and the money that they earn from that. Do you feel like this is something that that girls should just consider doing? Do you feel like it's something you wish, if you could go back, would you change anything? I mean, how would you approach this? How do you view this industry as somebody who's gone through it?
I don't regret it. I would do it again. If I could do it all over and I knew everything, I would do it again, because I think my life is personally a lot better, even if I'm banned too. It's a lot better than streaming is really tough. Like, to be at the top of streaming on Twitch, you have to pretty much sell your soul. You have to, if you want to be top, you have to stream 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, or else somebody else is going to want it more than you. Or even, you know, some people do 15, 19 hours a day. I don't even know how they do that, but they do it, I guess. And if you're only putting 3 or 4 hours, you know, you're not going to get anywhere, realistically. It's whoever's on the longest wins the game on Twitch, is what I've learned from being a top streamer. And you don't have a life at that point. You're literally like, I'm laying in bed for 12 hours today. Yes, the money's coming in. Yes, I'm successful to whatever my peers and stuff, but it is not a nice life. It is not, it's lonely, it's sad. But like, I think for me, like, I had a goal. I was like, okay, if I get this big, I can turn this into a music career or something I want to do. So I had a goal all along in my mind. I don't know what other people's goals are, whatever, but I knew what I was doing, my stuff, it was gonna all turn into that. I got banned, so then I was like, well, I'm not gonna release my music now, whatever. Like, I'm waiting, but maybe I might just do it anyhow at this point. I don't even know if they'll ever unban me. I don't really know. I know I'm not a bad person. So I'm just like, maybe I should just focus on my goals and my roots and who I am. Like, I think there's a million ways to get to your goals, and you have to be smart. I think that's the name of the game with all social media. I think all the people who are really doing it, they're doing something exceptional from their peers. Whether or not you see that, you're just like, what? They're just like a dumb girl or something.
Some
right?
people think it's all random.
Yeah. For me, like, we didn't really talk about this, but in private we talked about, like, everything about my stream and my success, I will say, was not random in the least bit. Not that I planned to be huge or anything, but once I started doing it, I started noticing things about the algorithm on Twitch, how it suggests people, how to become front page, how to just everything about Twitch I started noticing, and I had people that were noticing these things for me, because they're like, oh, this happens and you have this many viewers, and that happens and that many viewers. And like, pretty much I had, when the camera stopped, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was this one.
Uh-oh.
Why you do that? What happened? What's wrong?
Is it dead? Or is it?
I mean, it's plugged in, right? Just want
Maybe turn it off and on?
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Oh. At least it made a noise, letting us know.
Wait. This camera's kind of fucky.
Maybe I'll
Did it overheat or something? Does it feel
It's
hot?
back. We're back.
Oh.
But, I don't know.
If it acts up again, we could just cut quits on that one, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. So you were analyzing all the data you were getting from how people watch streams and interact with content on these platforms.
Yeah, and pretty much I used all of the data to my advantage, and I had a bunch of, my nerd gamer friends help me. I had a team of people.
Your team of mods?
My team of mods. Yeah, that were, a lot of the people on Twitch are really smart, honestly. And I don't know, they just helped me, and it was like a game to all of us. It was kind of like a game to see like how far we can grow the stream, but also it became like that whole competition with Red. People were like, oh, you're gonna pass Red, I was kind of like this underdog of Twitch. Nobody ever saw a female grow her stream as fast as I was doing, and how they're like, you're gonna dethrone the queen. Like, people were excited about it and they were like cheering me on, and I almost felt like part of something bigger than myself, because like, first it was like me streaming because I wanted to do my music thing and all the things I like, but then I also had people that were like rooting for me, and they were like, yeah, do this, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll stream longer, like. But it became this also toxic cycle of like having to stream longer because it's what you have to do as a streamer. And like I was telling you, I just feel lucky now that I still feel successful, but I don't have to be online for 12 hours, 7 days a week. I have a life. I can watch TV, I can watch anime, all the things that I like now. And I don't know, like, there is a trade-off. Like, yeah, you definitely make good income, but like, luckily, like you said, oh, would I not have done OnlyFans? I just think doing OnlyFans gives you time to be like more of a person.
You don't like to say the real name.
Well, I'm worried about the YouTubes.
It's gonna censor it.
I don't know.
It probably will.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it weird.
Isn't that so strange how...
I don't know if it'll censor it, honestly.
AI is getting so advanced now that you never know.
Yeah.
They'll probably pick up on it and deflag the video and nobody would ever know.
Yeah, you can boot me out.
Bleep you out.
Yeah. If you find that it's an issue when you upload. I don't think it will be.
You were telling me today about this AI program that gets fed these images of you and creates an AI recreation of you, right?
Yes.
And you tried that out, right?
I haven't seen the photos yet. It was generating it, I guess. But yes, we
should take a look at those.
I think my phone's
Whitney,
over
can
here.
you pull that up?
This just turned black.
Oh, that's okay. It's probably just needs to be reset. Is it back?
Oh wait, it says the battery's low?
Okay, let me take a look. This is a good pause moment then.
Yeah. That's great.
The battery is low. I think this can connect just to the power though, actually.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see this AI thing.
Whoa. It generated me naked. I think. Yeah, it gave me nipples. What the heck?
Wow.
What the fuck? It gave me AI and nipples.
Can I want to show the camera this, or one of the cameras.
Okay, yeah, maybe, well, there's
This
the
one's
nipple
cool.
one. We
Oh,
gotta
we can-
scroll past the nipple ones. Okay, maybe. Because I didn't, it said don't put any.
Which one should I show? This one? Okay, wait. Oh, here we go. So this is the AI generated images of Janelle. And some of these are quite revealing.
Who knows? They're random. They're not really, I don't know how.
But they're based on real...
Real art, I think. So they like, the AI works with other art, and it's like really funky.
Is this
Whoa.
in focus?
That's so cool and crazy. Some of them are weird.
That one's cool.
And deformo, and then some of them are like, okay, cool.
That one's like an interesting aesthetic.
That one,
This one's like a pop album.
yeah, it has like different bras and stuff it's adding. These are like wild. Wow. Okay.
Interesting. So that's, wow, hundreds of images though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
here's
I like
just a
that.
whole nother aesthetic
Elf
right here.
fairies.
The elf fairy arc.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's the final goal. Maybe that's why it's at the bottom. It's like the end point.
Endpoint fairy princess.
That's your end goal.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Very
Okay,
cool.
no nipple ones popped up at the end there. That was so
It
weird.
looks so hot in all of them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's crazy. That's like, is there even gonna be artists anymore?
No.
Because now there's just AIs to make stuff like that. That's crazy.
I feel like the next sexual revolution is going to be digitized sex robots.
What do you mean?
Like VR, like you can literally, somebody can have a VR set and everything that'll simulate the feeling of sexual stimulation.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
We'll just use the other ones. It's fine.
Exactly. And it can be tied to somebody's recorded experience, like some model's experience or something. Somehow the model would be like transported into VR, like VR porn or something that you experience, you feel with sensors and whatnot firsthand. I feel like that's like at some point going to happen. So like,
So I can like virtually give you a hand.
yeah.
Like
Right, exactly. And it'll be like, from my perspective, it'll look like that's what's happening, because it'll be like a device on, and it'll be a recorded actual, you know, like 8K or 12K 360 image of that happening. So it feels like I'm in a room. And it's going to be, in 10 years, that technology is going to be perfected, and it's going to be like, all right, some girls just have their virtual sex
There's dudes
experiences.
doing this in, I don't know, what's that virtual world, like Web3 or something? I don't know. I don't know if you've heard that. And they're like, they have like VR avatars and they'll like give like lap dances. I don't know. I saw it on TikTok and they claimed they were making like 20 grand a month doing that.
Wow.
Pretending to be girls.
No, I didn't know that. So there's a Web3 place where you can do lap dances in Web3 space.
Yeah. And you don't know it's a dude doing it because they have like voice
That's
mods
scary.
and stuff.
Wow.
Hey, baby.
I'm terrified of what awaits us in Web3. I thought we were still on Web 1. I missed the boat that we're on Web 2. I kind of hate Web 2 though. Since like 2010, the internet has just been social media. Like, here's old Twitter from 5 years ago. I was watching this movie the other day called Chef, and it's like, it shows tweets popping up in the movie. It came out in 2015. And it's like the old Twitter, where like it looks more blocky, and the text, there's like a big blue send button that's like flat and blocky. Before, they always just streamline these designs, is what I'm saying. And it becomes this like, nothing is new anymore. It's just like a redundant version of the same previous iteration.
That's why I wonder if we're really gonna have any like new apps that actually like become major in social media. Like TikTok was surprising, but also like I didn't think TikTok was gonna be a thing. I did not make one because I was like, that's stupid. I'm not doing that stuff. I don't know. I think a lot of people had the same feeling. They're like, I'm not gonna do dumb dances where I lip sync on there.
But see, it's fun. It's fun. I kind of do that anyways. I just don't do it in front of a camera, you know? Like, I'll sing to myself in the kitchen and like move around a little bit sometimes. So that's basically what TikTok is. It's just a more like express. It's just, when you put the phone out, it becomes cringe though to me, because it's like, now I'm just doing it as a performance purely. Whereas like life is just a performance.
I guess so. I feel like if you did that, you'd seem like an e-boy or something.
Totally. But I would never do that.
Have guys ever asked you to make OnlyFans?
Yeah, I've had messages from people asking me, but I would never do
What
that.
about a sexy ASMR channel?
Maybe. If I could just be like a hired voice actor, I would take it, yeah.
Whisper in my ear.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm a creep. I'm an e-girl. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
I mean, I do it.
You have a good, like, deep voice. I feel like people would ask for that. Yeah, there's a demographic waiting for you.
I feel like whenever I'm speaking in terms of information, I talk more nasally and nerdy.
Really?
Like this right now, I'm talking just like really fast paced and high pitch.
No, it sounds very masculine to me.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
So, speaking of masculine, I like to view genders not as genders, but as masculine and feminine energy, and that everyone has both masculine and feminine inside of them, and we all express it differently. And I think there is a very feminine expression going on with things like OnlyFans, with things like streaming even, that are personal, that are sexual, that are sort of, I view the feminine as being more chaotic, curious, mysterious, beautiful, aesthetic. These are all feminine traits. I think masculine is structure, order, difficulty.
Yeah.
I mean, there's feminine,
That's very spiritual. This is like a thing that comes up in spiritual stuff, I feel like.
And I feel like the dating scene right now, the relationship between what you might call the genders or the sexes or men and women is in such a weird spot right now. We were talking about this the other day, how and I try to see from both perspectives as much as I can. No one's perfect at that, but I think from the men's side, there's a lot of this incel angst, you could say. Some of it is way overplayed and way misconstrued by people who are whatever, but I think a lot of men are genuinely just in their own world of gaming, of being online, and they're probably not. They're not especially attractive or maybe socially confident because they grew up using the internet or playing games or being in sort of virtual worlds. And I think there is some sort of resentment that comes from that, being surrounded by a sexualized culture and being fed that kind of imagery all the time. I think it creates this recipe for disaster of men who are lonely and isolated and probably sexually frustrated, and probably just don't get enough love in their life in general. I think that's really where everything sort of starts, but that I think creates some angst amongst men, and sometimes that comes out in forms of misogyny and hateful things and all that, women hating, and that's a very extreme but kind of common position, even if it's just in jokes. Men will joke all the time, at least some friends I hang out with, about
maybe misogyny though is not an issue of the internet, but a thing that's been going on for hundreds or thousands of years. It's just that the internet is the internet now, so we see it. Because there wasn't this recorded record of misogyny necessarily that we have from the 1600s of how
culture has changed, because it wasn't viewed as misogyny. It was just viewed as that's the way you treat women.
Yeah, I guess so.
But the thing is, women have more power now than they ever have had before.
Yeah.
You're a bona fide businesswoman who's also a model, who's also an artist. I mean, you have a lot going on that I think would be daunting to many women of past generations. Do you ever feel like that, like, or do you just feel like it's all a level playing field, or do you feel like do you feel any sort of type of way, do you ever feel any special pressures as a woman? That's a lot of things. Special pressures as a woman. I mean, as a girl, at least how I feel like I was raised is like, when my parents are old school, so it was like, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna meet a husband, you're gonna get married, he's gonna take care of you. And I feel like with how the world's gone, millennials and stuff, it's very much not like that. It's like, hey, we're gonna split 50-50, you're gonna have a job and I'm gonna have a job, because everything's way too freaking expensive in the world. So I feel like the old school parents, they don't understand this, and they get on me too, and they're like, oh, well, why are you going out with a guy? He's not paying for everything. He's not doing everything for you. What is this? Like, and they're mad at me, like, and I'm like, that's like normal. What do you mean? And they think that I'm like, I have like low standards. But then if you are a woman who is like that, where you're like, okay, guy takes care of everything, blah, 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 then you're a gold digger. Is the other thing. So you can't win either way. And then going into like OnlyFans and stuff, I think, is there a special privilege there? Of course there is, right? I don't know, it's weird, because it's like, I was having this issue of like, I couldn't find like the right husband that my parents wanted me to have or whatever, somebody that would take care of me. And I felt like a failure at like, oh, I didn't find somebody yet, like what's wrong with me kind of vibe, or like, how come my life doesn't look like a Disney movie? Because that's how I was raised to feel like my life was as a girl. Oh, if you're just pretty and you act good and you get good grades, you're gonna find a husband. That's just like, somebody's gonna sweep you off your feet and, I don't know, take you to Timbuktu. I don't know. Like, and that didn't happen to me, and I was like, oh, I have to really have like a career and like do things or whatever. And then I tried the career thing, I really didn't like it, I hated it, and then somehow I fell into this OnlyFans thing. I think like everything was kind of a happy accident, but it all like, that's life for everybody. It just works out, like you are where you're supposed to be, and I guess this was the universe's calling for me, I guess, whatever. And special privilege, that's what we were talking about, right? Going back to that. When did your parents find out you did OnlyFans?
Oh, like, well, they didn't find out. I just kind of told them. Okay. Like, right when I started. I mean, I don't think I was like ashamed about what I was doing, because I was just like, hey, I'm doing this thing, and like, I guess it can be sexual, but like, I'm not naked. So, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing I do on Twitch, but I get money and stuff. Not that I don't make money on Twitch, but it's different. I feel like it's different. It's like you're live on Twitch. In a way, Twitch is more
demanding.
Demanding for sure. For sure. It's not healthy. I think that Twitch should make it illegal for streamers to stream longer than 12 hours, but they won't do that because they're a profit-based company. But if they actually cared about creators and burnout, because I see a lot of creators, you know, they're like, I'm doing 365 days of streaming 24/7 because why? I don't know, because they need to, I guess. That's it. There's no
labor laws for streaming.
Yeah, and there should be labor laws. I think it's cruelty, creator cruelty.
Creator cruelty. It's like, I've always viewed Twitch as the highest form of wage job. It's like the highest paying wage job, in the sense that you get paid for as many hours as you put into it. And when you are putting hours into it, you're fully committed. You're fully in the zone. It's not like a casual job if you're a good streamer, because you have to be entertaining on the spot constantly, or as much as you can during a several hour stream is really difficult. It requires a lot of attention, a lot of energy, a lot of reading chat, responding to people, remembering things, being interactive. You would have to get up and write subs names on the Christmas tree.
Or whatever, yeah. Just, yeah. It's hard being on that long, like, you know, on, like when you're talking to people, especially like I'm an introvert, when I'm on that long, I have like a big headache at the end of the night where I'm like, oh my God, I can't like be like, hi guys, welcome to the stream. Like I can't do that for like 10 or 12 hours. And I think you see it on some of the streamers' faces where they just look sad. I don't know how to explain it. Like
They look dead inside.
yes, some streamers look literally dead inside and they're just like, I'm here, I need to collect the paycheck, send your money, thanks, boobs. And I'm just like, it just gets, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. That's not how it should be.
It eats away at your mental health over time, at your soul, like you said.
Yeah.
It eats away at your soul.
It's not nice, but there's no solution to it, so I don't know. I don't have a solution. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Other than the 12-hour thing, I think it could be limited. I mean, even I don't think people should have to stream more than 8 hours, but like I said, it's just like about who's going to work harder. And I think that's like that in any entrepreneurial business. Like I have, I guess, technically a business by accident, but like I don't stop working on my business every day and dealing with stuff. Even without Twitch, I'm still doing stuff every single day. Like, I guess it could be 12 hours a day. I think about all day long. I don't take like weekends or whatever. Like I'm always on. And I think that's what it takes to be successful, whether, you know, you're a real businessman or you're a thigh, you know, as the guys call it. So whatever. Like, I think a lot of people dismiss sex work or like OnlyFans work or whatever because they're like, oh, it's so easy. And I think in a sense, yes, it is easy. But it also, if you're doing it at such a high level, it's just like running any other business. You have product. You maybe, if you're so big, you might have employees or people helping you. You have to organize everyone, make sure everything is on their A game. Like there's like I'm managing other girls and helping them with their careers now because I can't have my own career. So I'm helping other girls do their own career, and I'm like organizing that and like making sure everybody's okay. Like, I don't know. I'm just like always doing stuff. It's
You're a
nonstop.
businesswoman. You're scaling it up. It's a lifestyle too, though.
Yeah, but I think I don't like saying I'm a businesswoman. Like I mean.
But you're building something. You're
Yeah.
building a platform. People could say all different words. You know, brand, a culture, a thing. I mean, so much of what happens online is about putting out an aesthetic, putting out an image, a vision, a theme that people can rely on, that they can recognize. I've noticed that with viewers on YouTube even. It's like if you have certain types of videos or thumbnails or themes that are consistent, it's easier for people to relate to that and to see the vibe that you're on because it's a consistent feeling or consistent imagery or
Feels
symbol.
familiar.
Feels familiar. And how important would you say that is in maintaining an OnlyFans profile? Because you have these communications with fans and, you know, some of them are just there to support you financially. Some of them are there because they're, you know, they really like the images, all these different reasons, but you have to keep sort of relationships with them, right? As they're, or is that how you managed it?
I feel like most people don't want to talk on OnlyFans. Like, there's some people that do, obviously, but I think it's mostly people just come and buy content and disappear into the wind. I'm like, okay. But I think it's a small percentage that wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But the percentage that wants to talk is talkative, I guess. I don't know. I think it's just, you have your introverts and your extroverts kind of vibe.
So how did you deal with did you treat your viewers on stream the same way you would talk with subscribers?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I talk to my subscribers nice on Twitch, so yeah, I'm nice to them on OnlyFans. And yeah, I think on OnlyFans sometimes there's like sexual tones, so sometimes it'll be a little more sexual tone if somebody like likes that. Like I feel like I'm somebody that likes to adapt to what the space is. Like some people on OnlyFans talk about how they're sad in their life. You talk about you're sad. Okay, let's talk about it or whatever. Some people are like, I'm horny, and you're like, okay, like, yeah, nice cock. Like I feel like a chameleon. Like you have to kind of adapt to so many people's different personalities and like what they want, because everybody wants something different.
Is it hard to stay true to yourself when you're always adapting to viewers?
I think that's just like, for me, maybe it's me, I'm a people pleaser, but like that's just like how I've always been. Maybe that's how I'm raised. But that's also women, I think. Women are raised to be people pleasers. You're not supposed to disturb people and make them like feel bad or whatever. Like just
you're supportive and nurturing and caring and loving and sweet and cute. And that's kind of the role you're embodying as well for your viewers, right?
I guess so, yeah.
It's a very feminine.
Yeah, it's a feminine thing for sure. I never thought of it that way, but it's true. I just thought, oh, that's just me, but that's probably a girl thing. And
even in your aesthetic, with the lighting, with the colors, with the, the materials, it's all very comfortable and homey, and like, I think that's kind of what it invokes. This kind of setting is like this feeling of just being in someone's room, hanging out.
We're just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Yeah. It's an interesting vibe.
We hanging out?
We'll call this hanging out, yeah.
I'm so bad at like seduction. I don't even know. Sometimes I'm like, how did I even like get like Twitch famous? Like sometimes I'm like, who's watching this? Like even I'm just like, who's watching this? Like the ASMR stuff, like 12 hours of like like who's watching that? I mean, I appreciate all the people who do.
Some real weird people are.
But I'm like, this is very interesting, and even like I'm curious and fascinated, and like even though I was like part of it, I don't even understand it.
Right. I
don't understand it. I don't get it.
It's the human psyche.
I don't get it. It's male psyche though. I think
some
that's
dark
why.
parts of it. Sometimes.
Yeah, you'll have some dark parts, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's just, as a girl, I don't know. I think I just was going with what works, but I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's the chaos side of feminine. There's a chaotic element to it because no one ever fully understands it. That's why it's so desirable.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, big streamers, they probably don't even understand. Maybe they understand, but like I remember being like a small streamer and looking at big streamers and being like, I don't get why they're so famous. Like this is boring.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like, why? Okay. And then like becoming a big streamer, I was like, this is boring. Why are people watching now? When I was doing cool shit, nobody watched. Like, come on, guys. But actually, it was pretty cool because when I was growing my Thotting stream, I was actually doing my music streams and mixing them in, and my music streams were getting like 4,000 to 7,000 viewers. I was like, yeah, this is like playing to a stadium, guys. Like, this is real.
That's
like,
what you wanted all along.
Yeah, I was like, I'm making it. Whether or not anybody else sees it, I'm freaking doing it. And I was tears just a little bit, like, oh, well, it is what it is. But I don't know. I still think there's a second life to that coming in the future. Oh, yeah.
I hope so. I think that there's a new wave coming. I feel it. I see it. We're due. It's coming.
It's coming. Just music in general.
We're going to start a band. I'm going to start a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting a band.
I want to see.
I'm already getting people on board, so we got to do jam sessions.
I think you've got to create like one of those super bands where you just have like different collaborations and stuff.
Like Of Montreal. I'm going to do like Of Montreal.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No,
There's like 20 people that go in and out of it.
Oh,
but there's like a consistent like singer-songwriter and a few other consistent members. But I thought about that idea. I'm going to make a band like that though.
I think it'll work. Can't be Of Twitch.
Of Twitch. Off Twitch. Off Twitch. Off Twitch.
Yeah, maybe. That's funny.
So should we do a little jam session?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh no. Let's take a pause.
Let's take a pause. Let's take a little break
And then
here.
we can, like-
We'll reconvene in a moment.
We can reconvene the sound.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Wow, I almost dropped the water.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna just